A's Extra.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra pregame show. Chatham and Orleans just moments away. It's time for the Manager's Show, joined by Chatham manager Tom Holliday. Emmanuel Berbari with you. Tom, 7 runs for your offense last night. What did you see out of their at-bats?
I liked, and some guys surprised me, quite frankly, because there'd been some struggle adjusting to the wooden bats. And, you don't know a whole lot about some of these guys. And until you play, you don't know what to expect. And then you got a couple junior college guys that really haven't seen some of the arms. They may have torn up JC baseball, but when they get up against Division I guys and in this league, it's an awakening, and so you're looking for all kinds of reads on people. And it was interesting. We scored, 7 runs last night, and quite frankly, if we don't make 3 mental mistakes, we win that game. We pitched pretty well, and, that's the way we're going to be. We're going to pitch. We got to play defense. And those 3 mistakes we made on defense, they were all mental mistakes. So throw that away because these kids hadn't played in a couple weeks. They weren't sharp.
One of those breakout performances from Lyle Miller Green. What about his approaches stood out to you in the first week or so?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a man. When I say that, when he puts a wooden bat in his hands, it sounds the way it's supposed to. Again, whether he's a left fielder or right fielder, we'll find that out. But he is a man. He gets away with getting jammed, and he gets a base hit because he's strong enough. Then he hits one 9 miles to right center field last night. When you go oppo with a wooden bat this early, you sit there and go, wow, that's pretty good. And you know what? He comes to the ballpark every day trying to get a little bit better at something, and that's what we ask him to do.
Austin Vernon gets a start tonight. You had him a couple of summers ago. Now looks like a completely different pitcher. What's changed over that span for you?
Well, I've had him 2 summers in a row. And 2 summers ago, it was 304 pounds when he showed up. And I kind of thought Meatloaf when I saw him, if you guys remember who Meatloaf was. He looked like him. He didn't sing like him, but he looked like him. And, it's like you tease him about it, and then he's like, well, what do I do about it? Well, there's a thing called diet. So we started, and, he dumped like 30 pounds in a year and just gets down to 270. And, pitchers, that's still a little heavy. And then last summer, he came back and pitched for me in Tulsa, and he was on a mission and almost signed a pro contract. Now he's down to 250. So if the math is correct, that's 53 pounds in 2 years. And his stuff is better. His breaking balls are both better. His body actions are better. And he's a guy that loves to come to the yard, and he brings energy. He brings energy to everybody. I'm anxious to see him throw again tonight. He did a 30 pitch to hitters the other night. It was like no contest, but that's under these lights and against a bunch of freshmen. So we'll see what he does tonight.
You mentioned these lights. When he takes them out, it will be at Veterans Field right behind us. Being back at home after this layoff of no Cape League baseball, what about Veterans Field has always stood out to you?
Well, all the work it takes to prepare to play on it. And, I think we're to the point where I don't know that anybody's going to get hurt. That was my first objective when I get here, is make sure nobody's going to get hurt. And, we got our brown tracks all over it, and, I guess it's fertilizer burn or something burn. But, we actually have a little bit of grass on the infield that should allow it to play decent. But the biggest challenge here is hitting with no hitting eye. And, we took an old tarp, put it out there in center field. I don't know if it's going to do much good. The White House in behind it, hitters don't hit the ball well here until it gets dark. So if you give up a lot of runs in the first 3 or 4 innings, you're not pitching very well.
That's Chatham manager Tom Holliday on the Manager's Show. Now let's send it back up to Ben Shulman.